I have some more new Sinful Colors polishes to share with you. Sinful Colors has been absolutely killing it here lately. They've just been like busting out collection after collection after collection with all kinds of new shades. So today I have the Porcelain matte polishes. I have 4 of those, and then I have 2 of the Sugar Crushin texture polishes as well. I am missing 2 of the Sugar Crushin polishes, which is like a blue and a green, but they didn't have them in the display, so I'm not sure what's happening there. And as far as the porcelain mattes go, I guess there is another one that belongs to this collection, and it's more of like a coral matte shade. Haven't seen it either, so yeah, whatever. I will just show you what I have today. I will do a few comparisons with the demi mattes that they released last year, and some of the not Sugar Crush. I forget what they are, but they were the texture polishes too, so I will show you some comparisons for all of these. And I will swatch them, we'll look at them and talk about them and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. And yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I wanted to start here with the Sugar Crushin. Like I said, I have 2 of these. There are 2 more, blue and green, but I have not found them, like I said. So this one right here is called Serilli Sweet, and it is it's kind of like a purpley fuchsia base with these like pinky purple iridescent glitters that run through it. Super beautiful. And if I didn't already say it, I picked these up at Walgreens. Okay. And I wanted to go ahead and show it next to, I don't have exact matches here for these, but from the Crystal Crush, that's what those were called, got a, what is this called? Got a blush on you. So I'll go ahead and just pop these in here so you can see the difference between the 2. This one is much darker though. Like I don't have an exact match in the Crystal Crush line, and they have the silver caps like that. The new ones just say Sugar Crushin on the top. So deeper, and there's a little bit more going on in here. These ones are just pretty kind of like basic, almost like, not basic, I don't even know how to describe it, but there's not like a whole lot of different colors happening, if that makes sense. So I have them swatched right here for you guys. So here is the new Sugar Crushin color in, what was that called? Serilli Sweet, 2 coats, dries down matte, of course. And then right beside it is the Got a Blush on You from the Crystal Crush collection. They're looking much more similar on camera, but I promise they're not. I'll pop photos in at the end for you guys to look at to see a better difference, hopefully. So let's go ahead and take a look in this bottle, and we will swatch it. Okay, so here's what it looks like outside of the bottle. It looks much more sheer than it actually applies, because I was able to get these opaque in 2 coats on my nails. So let's give this a swatch. Okay. So the formula is very smooth. It's a little bit thick, but usually you get that with highly textured polishes because of all that texture and glitter in there, but it's easy to apply. I did not have an issue whatsoever with this. Okay, so there's our first coat of that. We will come back and do a second in a little bit. So let's move on to our next shade. So the next Sugar Crushin polish is Sweet Tooth, and it's the same kind of thing, but this is like a pretty bright pinky coral shade. It's coming off darker. It's actually really, really bright and much more pink. Whenever you see it in person, it's beautiful. And I'm going to show it next to, I forget what this purple one is, the tag's missing. Like I said, I don't have exact dupes for these. But as you can see in the Crystal Crush, there's like a lot more happening in them as far as like colors are concerned. So yeah, there's that. Let's look at these swatches for some comparison, even though I don't know how helpful it's going to be. I also put the red one right there too beside of it. Okay, so right there in the middle is Sweet Tooth, 2 coats, and then I have that purple one right there, and then the red one. Like I said, this new one here in the middle, it's coming off so much darker than it really is. It's actually really, really bright and beautiful. I love it. So let's take a look at it and get it swatched. So here's what it looks like outside of the bottle. Looks very sheer as well, but they are not that sheer. Like, they go on and build up very, very nicely. Alright, so let's go ahead and put on our first coat of Sweet Tooth here. These actually dry down really quickly too, which makes it nice. So this one is really smooth and easy to apply. It's not as gummy as the last one I swatched, and I'm being extra messy with my swatching. I'm sorry, guys. And it's just really nice. It goes on really, really nicely and beautiful. And then, as you can see right here with the last one, it's almost all the way dry, and as it dries, you get to see so much more of that glitter start to stand out, and I just love it. So that's that. So let's go ahead and move on to the porcelain mattes. We'll come back and finish these up in a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the porcelain mattes now. They say limited edition or limited time porcelain matte on the top. And this one is called Mad Matter, and it's a really light kind of rosy pink, and I've noticed that these do have a little bit of shimmer in them. It's hard to see, like you cannot really see it in the bottle or on the nail, but it's in there for some strange reason nonetheless. So let's go ahead and let me show you it next to Easy Going, which is a cult classic, just like a color that has been around forever and everybody loves. So it's much more like, I don't know, like lighter and maybe a little bit of yellowy looking next to this. It's strange, but there's that. So here's what it looks like outside of the bottle. These are a little bit thick, and they could get a little annoying to apply if you try to manipulate it too many times on the nail, but they are very, very nicely opaque for how light they are, and they're smooth. So let's swatch. Okay, so here is our first coat of Mad Matter. This is super smooth and easy to apply. And they don't dry so fast that you can't manipulate them a little. Like some others, as you can see, it's starting to dry on me because I'm going over it a lot. So there is one coat of that. And it definitely, they dry pretty quick. So this one is pretty streaky on the first coat. On my nails though, one coat looked really, really great, but they all, I would recommend 2. So let's move on. And also those streaks right there, they disappear as it dries, so that's a great thing. So let's go ahead and move on to our next shade. Next one that I have here is called Glazy Sunday. Such a cute name. And this is more of kind of like a mauvey, pinky, sort of dusty color, if that makes any sense. And this one, I think you guys can actually see some of that shimmer in this one. Do you see it there a little bit? It's hard to detect unless you're really up on it in the right light. But it's definitely there, but it doesn't show up on the nail. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the comparison here, which is not anything super close, but just in case if you guys have it, it is, what is this called? Truth or Lavender from the Demi Matte collection. Definitely a much more of a purple color, right? Alright. Okay, so here is what Glazy Sunday looks like outside of the bottle. You really can't see that shimmer all that well. And also, I will have what's on my nails in the description box down below in case you guys are curious. But I have my hands painted 2 different colors because I'm swatching, so that's why I just didn't show you what I was wearing, but I'll put everything down below just in case. This color is gorgeous though. Alright, so let's get on our first coat of Glazy Sunday. It's got a really smooth formula again. This is one that I think you could get opaque on its own on your nails if you wanted to with the thicker coat. So there is that. Very beautiful. You can kind of see that shimmer in there as it's still wet. But once it dries down, you can't see it. And then there's that pink one. Look how light that is. It's gorgeous. Alright, let's move on. This one right here is called Cheshire China, and it is a beautiful pastel, like lavender color. It's gorgeous. It leans a bit blue, but once you see it next to a blue, you can definitely tell how much more purple this one is. It's absolutely amazing color. I love it. And I'm going to show you guys it next to a Crush from the Demi Matte collection. So maybe you guys can tell a better difference of color here. Alright. Okay, so here's what Cheshire China looks like outside the bottle, and I believe that this one has some shimmer in it too, I think. But it's really not even worth mentioning because it doesn't show up. Okay, so let's get on our first coat of Cheshire China. Same as the last two, smooth, easy to apply. These formulas on these are just so nice. So that one definitely is going to need a second coat. I'm just putting thin coats on the nail wheel, but like I said, most of these probably need 2 coats anyway. So yes, we will come back for a second coat in a bit. And then here's the last one I just showed you guys, Glazy Sunday, and that glitter is not even apparent anymore. So let's keep going. Alright, so here's the last one that I have to show you guys today. It's called She's Gone Matte, and this is kind of like a tealy kind of green, like a deeper kind of minty green almost, I guess. This one has a shimmer in it too. It's like a bluish green shimmer, but that does not show up on the nails, of course. I don't know why they do that if it doesn't show up. what's the point of putting it in there? Whatever though, it's a gorgeous color. The only problem I have with this is that it stained the skin around my nails when I was taking it off. It didn't stain my actual nails, but it stained my skin. It was weird. So yeah, let me show it next to, what is it called? Chalk It Up, the green one from the Demi Matte. I'm showing these next to the Demi Mattes just in case you guys have them and think that they're similar. I'm just trying to show you the difference. Alright, so here is, what did I say this was? She's Gone Matte. Outside the bottle, and you can see that shimmer, I think. I can. It's a gorgeous color. Alright, so let's get on our first coat of She's Gone Matte. So this one is nice and smooth like the rest, but it is a bit thicker for some reason than the rest. Probably because it has the most shimmer out of the others. But it's definitely not a deal breaker. I mean, if you don't like matte polishes, you probably won't even want these anyway. But there is one coat of She's Gone Matte, and of course you can see that shimmer until it dries. So I'm just showing you guys these to see how quickly they're drying, because they do dry down very quickly. I know this pink one right here looks streaky right now, but it'll go away, you'll see. These colors are so pretty. Alright, let's move on and we will get our second coats on of all of these. So this is going to be our second coat of Serilli Sweet. I will have pictures for you guys throughout the video of these on my nails so you can get a better idea. I will also put the comparison photos at the end. So like I said, this one is just super easy. And really pretty. So there is our two coats of Serilli Sweet. Now let's move on to Sweet Tooth. I really love this color. I highly recommend this one, and I cannot wait to be able to, well, hopefully find the other two that go with this Sugar Crushin collection. So there is two coats. It looks really good at two coats. Everything in my photos will also only be two coats that you'll be seeing. Alright, now let's move on to our porcelain mattes. And these really do actually remind me of porcelain. I mean, just basically everything about them. It just definitely captures that porcelain feel and look. So this first one was what? Mad Matter. So let's get to it. This color is so pretty. Really, really smooth. It just glides on. So there's two coats of that, which makes it look really nice. Okay. Next up is Glazy Sunday, which is probably my favorite. I really like it. At least one of my favorites. for sure. This color is just really good. So again, super smooth. Okay, so there's 2 coats of that, which makes it opaque. Next here is, what is your name? Cheshire China. That's a tongue twister. Try to say that 3 times fast. So again, same formula. I'm definitely repeating myself a lot. Just because they're all really consistent in formula. Which is a good thing. So there is our second coat of Cheshire China. Gorgeous color. It's looking more blue. It is definitely a little more purple though when I re-see it in person. And lastly, but most certainly not least, we have She's Gone Matte. This is another one of my favorites. I just wish it didn't stain the skin around my nails. I'll just have to be more careful. And I suggest that you guys, if you get it, just be careful when you remove it. Wear a base coat as well. Just because it didn't stain my nails without a base coat doesn't mean it won't on you. So definitely just be safe about that. Again, smooth, creamy. This is one I think you could get opaque on at 1 coat too if you wanted to. So there is 2 coats of that. It makes it opaque. And I will definitely take more photos to let you guys see what these look like once they dry down all the way. But again, let's just go ahead and move around the wheel so you guys can see them one more time. Okay, and let me go ahead and get situated here. I will grab my favorites and I'll come back with my final thoughts. So I will be right back. Alright, so here are the 3 that I absolutely love. I would have included that green if I wouldn't have had staining issues, but for the ones that I absolutely love, and I cannot wait to wear these so much during the spring and summer, because I will, but it's Glazy Sunday, Mad Matter, this really light pink. I just really love the way this looks, and then Sweet Tooth. So those are the 3 that I love. They're all good. These are just 3 that I really, really, really love. So thoughts? Yes, I highly recommend these. Definitely some of the colors over the others, which you can probably tell by my review and swatching. Everybody does have different preferences, of course. So something that I like, you may not. So just be aware of that whenever you take my recommendations into account. You know what I mean? Like, just different skin tones and everything. Just if you can, go to the store and look at these next to your skin tone first before you decide to get them. But Sinful Colors is so cheap that it doesn't really matter anyway. So I don't know why I'm saying that. Yeah. Oh my god. Alright, so very consistent across the board with the porcelain mattes and the sugar Crushin. Formulas were really, really nice. The porcelain mattes were just a little tricky because you can't manipulate them too long, but that's just kind of the nature of a matte polish anyway. But for a matte, they're great. Like, they apply the best out of a lot of mattes I've tried. So I do recommend these. Again, I got mine at Walgreens, and hopefully you guys can find these if you want them too. I will definitely be hunting out the other 3 that I need. Did you notice I said I need? Of course I need them. I don't just want them, I need them. So hopefully I find them. But anyway, I'm happy with what I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.